If you guys remember that video I did yesterday about Boris Johnson hiding in a fridge, even that one got partially demonetized. I have no idea. YouTube basically hates all progressive news channels. So please consider supporting the show on patreon.com/papichulamin or on PayPal. The links are in the description and I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. So apparently we have another great value version of the squad that just popped up, except this time they're conservatives. Let's take a look.
Jessica, congratulations, you actually did this.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having us.
When you look at these ladies that want to form a conservative squad with you, what goes through your mind?
You know, I'm just honored that they want to join in this fight, and that's exactly what it is. You know, we are losing the younger generations of this country, and I'm so grateful that they're willing to join up and help in this cause.
Okay, Michelle, why did you want to be a part of the squad?
You know, this is about bringing the conservative message to the people of the United States so that people understand that we're looking at do-nothing Democrats. They are obsessing about impeachment and not really doing anything for the people of the United States anymore. You know, you take a look at western Minnesota, the district that I live in, and they're ignoring USMCA. They've finally gotten around to it a year later. But the farmers out in western Minnesota need USMCA, and they waited and waited. But they have plenty of time for impeachment and the sham that is. And they just continue to obsess about that and not do the things that the people of the United States really need.
Nancy, why is this squad important to you?
Well, you know, if you look at my life, I got my start as a waitress at Waffle House. I became the first woman to graduate from the Citadel, the Military College of South Carolina, 20 years ago. Today, I'm a businesswoman and state lawmaker running for the United States Congress. And this is about our future. This is the American dream. And you see the Democrats, they've taken a sharp left turn under the influence of the socialist squad. And you look at us, and this is socialism versus American values of freedom and job creation. And we all understand up here today that people flourish under freedom. And 2020 next year is pivotal for our country. And, you know, we see so many women across the country right now, Republican women, who are picking up the mantle and want to serve. They say, enough is enough. My kids and my country are worth fighting for. And that's what this is about, essentially.
Beth, how about you?
Well, I look at right now, we really do have a Congress that's run by extremists. And it's dangerous for America because they're not doing anything. We haven't seen solutions for out-of-control healthcare costs.
What? What is she talking about? The squad supports Medicare for all. That is literally the solution for out-of-control medical costs, you bimbo. Man, I'm so outraged by these people. I really am. There is so much to unpack here. Oh, God, help us.
Well, you know, if you look at my life, I got my start as a waitress at Waffle House. I became the...
So she's saying that she was a waitress, right? You guys remember how much conservatives make fun of AOC because she used to be a bartender? They use that as some kind of attack towards her. Like as if working a job where you're on your feet all day is shameful. What? They give her so much crap, like, oh, you're inexperienced and you don't know what you're talking about. You're just a bartender. Oh, so being a bartender or a waitress is only bad when you're a woman of color. Being a bartender or a waitress is only bad when you're a socialist. Oh, I see. Then it doesn't count. And you know, conservatives are always like, oh, you got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. We don't want free stuff. Oh, so when someone is hardworking, you also disqualify them. They're also not good enough for you. This is unbelievable. The double standard here is crazy. It's not just a double standard towards people on the left, people who are socialists, who are progressives. It's also a double standard towards women of color. Yes, it is. They will contradict themselves, their own so-called values, just to attack women of color or people of color in general. Unbelievable.
Well, I look at right now, we really do have a Congress that's run by extremists.
Yeah, on the right. What do you call that when you're trying to impose your religion on other people? That's extremism. That's exactly what you're trying to do. And by the way, what right-wingers do in the U.S. is not even Christianity. It has nothing to do with the religion that came from Jesus Christ, from the Middle East, from Syria, my country, from Palestine, from the Levant. It has nothing to do with what they're trying to preach. Two completely different things.
We've seen nothing that is solving the problems at the border, where you've got loopholes that enable human traffickers and drug cartels to come in.
Oh my God. Solving problems at the borders. Look, lady, most illegal immigrants in the U.S. come through legally. They don't come from the Mexico border. Okay? And your issue with drug cartels is because of a failed war on drugs. You can go blame Ronald Reagan for that. This is not AOC's fault. It's not Rashida Tlaib's fault. Okay? And by the way, stupidly enough, the Democrats gave you, the right-wingers, gave Donald Trump his money for the border wall with no strings attached. So what are you even complaining about? And yesterday they did the same thing with the Space Force. Here's $738 billion, no strings attached. So the do-nothing Democrats are actually doing everything you want because they're idiots. They're complicit with you, and you're still complaining. This is really funny.
We've seen nothing to fix the infrastructure that's crumbling across the country.
Oh, nothing to fix the infrastructure that's crumbling across the country. Yeah, like, the Green New Deal, which would create millions of high-paying jobs. Oh, yeah. I wonder who came up with that, right? The thing that you keep laughing at. Oh, that's right, AOC. I really don't understand this mentality that right-wingers have. They love economic growth. That's all they care about, the market, profits, all this stuff. But when you give them a proposal that would create millions of high-paying jobs and completely overhaul the infrastructure of the country, clean energy, oh, they don't care. This is truly Orwellian. This doublespeak that's going on right here is mind-blowing. And the problem is that I know better. You guys who are watching, you know better, but most people who are watching Fox don't know better. And matter of fact, this isn't just Fox. This is all of mainstream media. It's the same thing with CNN, who also did a piece on the centrist Democrat squad, which I also did a video about. They also brainwash people.
You've seen Democrats run saying that they're going to be independent and they're going to be different and they're going to be really, focused on solutions for American people. And instead, all we've seen is a focus on impeachment, and it is political theater, and that's at the cost of public policy. And I think people are sick of seeing that.
Now, she's saying that Democrats are focusing only on impeachment and nothing else. That's true. If you're talking about the majority of the Democratic Party, if you're talking about the centrists, yes. Instead of actually implementing policies that help working class people, they don't care. They're doing this whole Russiagate and impeachment nonsense to avoid actually doing their jobs. And when it comes to opposing the Republicans, they don't care. Like I said, they'll give Trump whatever money he wants. They're not actually going to help when it comes to implementing Medicare for all and things that progressives want. So she's got a point there. But you are all guilty of that. The Republicans and the centrist Democrats. This is not a progressive squad issue. If you're presenting yourself as an antithesis to the squad, you're completely wrong, because the squad are the only ones who are actually there to get stuff done that helps working class people, that helps the average American. So you are not the antithesis of the squad.
Our country is so great. There are other countries where women can't even drive.
Oh, you mean like Saudi Arabia? Which you give billions of dollars of weapons to? That country? The Gulf countries? Oh, yeah. Funny how that works, right? You pretend that you're against extremism. You pretend that you're for freedom and empowering women. But then you're completely fine with Donald Trump currying favor with Saudi Arabia, which is one of the most oppressive governments in the world towards women. You're really funny. Not a peep from them about that. Nothing.
So fundamentally, I believe in less government. Socialism amounts to getting free stuff, and we believe in freedom.
What? What are you talking about? Socialism isn't free stuff. You pay for that stuff. Everyone pays into it. It's not free. Social Security isn't free. Everyone is paid into Social Security. It's just redistributed equally. What is this myth that she's making up? Also, what kind of socialism? What kind? Anyone who tells you that there is one single definition of socialism is a moron, and you should not listen to them, because there is no such thing as socialism. There are socialisms, plural. Shout out to Professor Dr. Richard Wolff. This is garbage, and it's not about getting free stuff. It's about give us back our stuff, which corporations stole. That's what it's about. Give us back the wealth that you stole. Give us back the jobs that you outsourced. Give us back our human rights, our right to health care. Give us back that money that you've been stealing from us through copays and deductibles and premiums. Give us back those drugs that the public funded and now you patent and sell back to us. It's not about free stuff. It's give us back our stuff. That's the fucking difference. I mean, it's really adding insult to injury. We're going to rip you off. We're going to oppress you. We are going to treat you like garbage. And then we're on top of it, we're going to claim that you're taking stuff from us and you are a freeloader. What? They have flipped the world on its head. This is how they do. This is how oppression works. What freedom is that? The freedom to get ripped off by private health insurance companies? To get ripped off by big pharma? To get ripped off by being paid starvation wages? The freedom to breathe in polluted air? The freedom to get shot because you're brown or you're black? What freedom are you talking about exactly? What is that? Explain to me. Because you might have that freedom. I believe you do because you're white and you're privileged. But others don't. And this is the issue. You don't care about those people. You are self-centered and selfish. You are living in a two-tier society, in a bubble, and you think that everything is dandy. It's not. There are other people on this planet besides you. There are other people who are not getting what's due to them. They're not getting their fair share. That's the issue. Also, that sentence makes no sense logically. Socialism amounts to getting free stuff, and we believe in freedom. I'm doing YouTube videos, therefore I like balloons. What? What do those two things have to do with each other? What I think she's trying to insinuate is that socialism and America and freedom are incompatible. Really, is that why Teddy Roosevelt, who created Social Security, who is probably the most socialist president, got elected 4 times? He was the most popular president in American history, a socialist. Really? Damn, he must have been so unpopular and so incompatible with American values that he got elected 4 goddamn times and then had to put term limits himself. She's trying to rewrite history. This is what they do. It's absolutely ridiculous.
And if you want more information, it's conservativesquad.com.
That's correct.
Okay.
And we are...
I went to conservativesquad.com, and guess what it is? There's nothing there except a donation page. Now, there's nothing wrong with asking for donations. That's how Bernie Sanders' campaign is funded. That's how AOC's campaign was funded. That's how this channel is funded. But what are you offering in return? Conservative Squad. We don't even know what your policies are. It's all been hot air for now. Oh, we like freedom. What does that mean? What does that translate to in terms of policies? Freedom for what? What value are you providing exactly? What value are you providing to be asking for them donations? What a goddamn hypocrite. Oh, socialisms just want free stuff. By the way, go to conservativesquad.com and give us money. For what? What a hypocrite. Unbelievable. There is literally nothing on that website except a donation page. That's it. And you don't even know what you're donating for.
Minnesota Senate. I was the first female president of the Minnesota Senate. So if anyone tells you that the Democrats are the power or the party of the women, don't let them tell you that, because I was the first Republican woman in the Minnesota, or to serve as the president of the Minnesota Senate, and then most.
Oh yeah, the Republicans are the party of the women by telling women what to do with their bodies. And she doesn't see the irony in her own sentence. She says, I am the first woman, meaning there were no other women to do this before me in Minnesota. Therefore, we are the party of the women. Yeah, maybe starting from now, but your history indicates otherwise. I'm sorry, sweetie. And so do your policies. So shut the hell up.
And even at the Citadel or in business or in the state legislature, I have a history of delivering results. And when you look at what's going on right now, the nonsense in D.C., Americans are starving for results. Our roads and bridges, our schools, all these things need to be rebuilt. And instead, we're stuck on impeachment right now. Nothing's getting done. And I'm really excited because I love granddads everywhere, but this is not your grandfather's GOP anymore.
The goddamn irony, man. Progressives are screaming, please let us rehaul the country. Let us invest in infrastructure. Let us rebuild our schools. Let's make colleges free. Let's give people a chance to get that education. Let's fix the country. Let's invest in infrastructure. And all you hear from the Republicans is, no, we don't want to do that. No, you guys are socialists. No, we're not going to invest in the public. And then as soon as there's impeachment, they're like, oh, well, you're busy with impeachment now. Guess we can't invest in infrastructure. It's your fault. What infrastructure exactly are you proposing? A border wall? And besides that, besides your border wall, what are you proposing exactly? Where's your equivalent of the Green New Deal? Where is it?
And it's exciting to be a part of it. It's exciting about the momentum that all of us are receiving, not just in the districts we're running for, but nationally. And that's why we're here. We want people to sign up.
Momentum nationally? No one's ever heard of you. People have heard about AOC and the squad on the other side of the planet. Who the hell are you? I never even heard of you before this clip. Now, that's not to say that just because you didn't hear of someone, that doesn't mean that they are not offering something promising. But what are you even talking about? This whole clip, you haven't mentioned one single policy that you're running on. And you're claiming that you have momentum nationwide? What? Based on what? Based on what?
So I was 17 when I left my house, and I had 2 full-time jobs for about 3 years before I realized, getting paid $3.01 an hour was not going to cut it. So I paid for my own way through college. I went to Cornell, graduated magna cum laude, came out, had 2 kids.
Oh man, wages in this country are not sufficient, and college is really expensive. I guess I'll just keep that system going then and make sure that everyone has to suffer like I did. This is her logic. This is her logic. No, let's not help people by raising the minimum wage. Let's not help people by making college affordable, making it free, and canceling all student debt so people aren't burdened with that their entire life and millennials can't start families. No. It's fine. Let's keep the system the way it is. What drugs are these people taking? Seriously. They are on some real crack. Honestly, man, the hypocrisy here is unreal. They hate people of color. They hate everything they stand for. And then they want to imitate them and take away their credit. I'm sorry, but this doesn't work. You, by doing this, have acknowledged that the squad are influential. You have acknowledged their power, and you are trying to bite off of their style. You couldn't even come up with your own original name. How lame is that? How lame. And then you proceed to attack them. Which one is it, man? Make up your mind. Either you acknowledge that they are successful and you want to be like them because of what they stand for, or you don't and you be quiet. Not try to imitate them while also hating on them. What does that even mean? This is so typical, man. Every time they see people of color doing something good, every time they see black and Arabs doing something good, they have to go and imitate it or ruin it. That's what it is. It's jealousy. It's jealousy, man. I'm telling y'all. I don't even know what they stand for. They didn't mention one single policy, man. When you get a progressive on, they tell you in a couple of seconds what they stand for. Raise the minimum wage, Green New Deal, Medicare for all, free college. All of these things. You know in 5 seconds what they're about. But what do they represent? 7 minutes of hot air. This is ridiculous. It's just like that other corporate Democrat centrist version of the squad. I also did a video on them. It's just so cartoonish and pathetic. Again, this should remind you of what the squad did. I mean, they really came pretty far. They really came pretty far. That's the true empowerment of women and women of color. Women of color. Let us accentuate that. It's nothing to smirk at. So this is a clown show, my friends. These women are completely uneducated on what socialism is, the different meanings of socialism. They are completely uneducated on what the progressive wing of the Democratic Party is trying to implement. They are completely uneducated on what the American people want. All these policies, Medicare for all, free college, canceling student debt, raising the minimum wage, they all have popularity across the board, whether it's Republicans or Democrats being polled. They are completely ignorant about how demeaning it is to try and steal the thunder from a group of women of color who work their butts off to get where they are and face backlash constantly from the president himself all the way down to MAGA hat wearing morons on the street. They face so much hate and backlash for what they accomplished. And you're trying to steal their thunder while also hating on them. This is abhorrent. You will never be the squad. You will never be anything close to the squad. Go home.